that this would be his last season, which we all kind of knew.
Year 20, right?
Yeah. So this was like obviously.
Man, 2 decades in the NBA is just insane. I mean, 20 years playing in the NBA is nuts, bro. I mean, how many guys can say that?
Right. And smaller guys said it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, and he has zero athletic ability.
Right.
And he hasn't had it for like probably 4 years, 5 years. He just has been able to play the game at a high level because of his high IQ. I mean, listen, we're talking about one of the greatest point guards of all time. So just job well done. A teammate of mine on 2 different teams. Houston, I got to rock with him, and Clippers. Had some great moments with Chris playing on the court. Definitely learned a lot from him, whether it's him teaching vocally or just by example. His attention to detail, his IQ, the way he's prepared for teams. You just got to see the levels at which like some of these guys see the game. He's just a remarkable point guard and one of the most ferocious, competitive to the point where it's brutal athletes and teammates I've ever had. So Hall of Fame career, first ballot, top 75, arguably a top 5 point guard. I
was going to ask you where he ranks for you, and it's tough because like you said,
we
played
said
with him
this.
twice.
The point guard list is impossible.
But like, do you have him above the Steve Nash, Jason Kidd?
It's tough to put him against. See, Nash is the hardest guy to measure against because the totality of his career, it's not better than Chris's.
But what if I told you he has as many MVPs as Shaq and Kobe combined?
No, but that's what he has. Is he won 2 MVPs.
Yeah,
and that's his biggest argument. And it's valid. So it's when you have an MVP, bro, you kind of insert to the front of the list. When you have 2 of them, people start being like, oh shit, okay, so you're like the greatest point guard, one of the greatest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, but if you look at his body of work through his whole career, Chris's is better. Jason Kidd's is better. A lot of these guys, John Stockton's is better. I could keep going of point guards who have a better resume than Steve Nash from start to finish. The problem is in the middle, Steve was dominant.
His peak.
And won 2 of them.
Yeah.
MVPs, bro. Chris ain't never won MVP. He was never even close to winning an MVP. So like it ain't like Jason Kidd, all these guys ain't never win no MVPs. John Stockton ain't win no MVPs. The guy who's passing the ball won them. It was Malone. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So how do I put him against that guy? It's very hard to measure with Nash. I don't know what to do with him. I tend to forget about him because it just makes it easier. Otherwise, I don't know how to rank. But yeah, you put a top 5 list. Magic's, listen, for me, I'm putting Steph Curry as the greatest point guard of all time. That's what I grew up watching. Number 2.
Did you hear Dwayne Wade's quote the other day? Really quick, I started to interrupt where he said, Michael Jordan's the greatest player I ever saw. LeBron James, the greatest player I ever. Oh, he said Michael Jordan's the greatest player I ever watched. Michael Jordan's the greatest player, or LeBron's the best player I ever saw.
I don't know what the hell type of Dr. Seuss riddles you're trying to give us, Dwayne Wade. It hurt my brain trying to understand what you meant by that. I don't know if you have different sets of eyes or how that works, of one you've seen, the other one you saw.
I took it as he's friends with both. Like,
one sponsors you and was like, who you looked up to, the MJ. He's a Chicago kid too as well. So he looked up to him. The other one's is like his best friend. So it's like, I think he just he strategically, creatively found a way to play the fence.
And I think he did it in a way where hopefully no one ever asks him again. They're just like,
yeah, people are like, what are you talking about? That was hilarious. Yeah,
sorry, you were in the middle of your ranking.
No. I put Steph, Magic. Man, see, after that, man, all these names that come to the list, it's like, bro, regardless, I'd put Chris somewhere in there. Yeah. I have Chris. You could put Jason Kidd in there. I'd put
Isaiah Thomas.
Put Isaiah Thomas and Chris. That'd probably be the 5. And then if you want, you could throw Nash in there. You know what I mean? I think there are guys right outside of that too. You got Oscar Robinson. Mr. Triple Double. You got the other Mr. Triple Double.
Jason Kidd. Yeah.
Russell Westbrook's in there. He's been a prolific player for how long? He's gonna go down with his numbers being more impressive than a lot of those guys. And also is an MVP winner. That'll put you to the front of the list. So there's all those names. Chris is in there. Just great career, man.
When I think of Chris Paul, I think for me, his legacy will definitely be one of the things that he's left with the game was he he was like a bar raiser. Like we talked about Dylan Brooks in a different way, but when Chris went to a team, the team was just better. So much so, obviously, with the Clippers and with the Hornets, what he was able to do with Tyson Chandler, David West, and these guys. But when he went to OKC, and it was kind of like he was left for dead, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is sad." Like his media day pictures with OKC, and him and Schroeder and obviously SGA, them making the playoffs, playing you, I think, in the bubble.
Yeah.
That was when I was like, okay, wow, you could just throw him on a team, and that team, he's like untankable. Like this guy,
he's a winner.
Yeah.
JJ had the best soundbite of him. They asked JJ the other day. I didn't even recognize JJ's hair's gray. That coaching shit's no joke, man.
Yeah,
the stress of a coach.
It's like when they show Obama before and after his presidency. Is that the same thing?
It's brutal,
your dad's
man.
voice before and after.
Yeah, the stress is brutal.
Yeah,
all time high. Especially right now, and I couldn't imagine being a Lakers coach because it's just different media. It's like being a Knicks coach. It's brutal. He talked about how much of a winner Chris Paul is, and he's so right. And it has nothing to do. That's why ring culture is overrated. Okay, because some players are just blessed with good situation, lucky. However you want to phrase it. Chris has always won. He just hasn't won a ring. I give y'all a little Dwayne Wade riddle.
Yeah.
People are like, no, every team he's ever gone to your point, has gotten better. When he played for the Hornets, they were a playoff team. He left, they tanked. The franchise went to it. I know because I was part of it. I came right after that with Anthony Davis, and we were like, what the hell is this place?
Yeah.
This is terrible. He goes to the Clippers. They become a contending team. He leaves the Clippers. We were good, not great. How do I know? I was there. Oh, then he goes to Houston. Very good team. He left. We weren't as good. How do we know? I was there. I'm just being honest. We were much better with Chris. He goes to the Thunder. They're trying to tank. Nope. They go to the playoffs. How do I know? I was there. I played against them. Now don't put this together. There's a lot going on.
They're going to help you co-write his biography. I don't know what's going on.
Then he goes to Phoenix. Very competitive team. Goes to the finals. A part of that run, who they beat? Team I played for, Denver. I was there. They were very good. He leaves. Phoenix has been whatever they've been since.
Right.
Okay. Obviously now Chris is much older. He's on that Spurs. He's not going to have that same impact anymore. And now he's on Clippers. No, I'm saying before. I'm saying we went to the Spurs. Now he's on the Clippers. His impact's not the same anymore. He's obviously much older. Regardless, there's a trend here that during the bulk of his career, whatever team Chris went to was just a much better team, and they won a lot more games. That classifies you, to me, in his winning percentage as a winner. Now, he didn't win a ring, but he is a winner. And I think that's a great soundbite from JJ, so I wanted to piggyback on that. Just congrats on him again. And, he'll probably end up coaching or on TV, front office, whatever he really wants, he'll be able to do because people look at him with such high values. The guy who ran the NBPA, president of the NBPA for a long time.